Have you ever held a stock that looked dead only to watch it rebound and jump up after you've sold? That's something that oftentimes happens when you're looking at a company that might have a really good outcome in the long term, but is not really staying true in the near term. And this is how, I've kind of watched Rigetti stock, for example. We've seen it pull back here about 9% today, um, which is a pretty substantial pullback. With the greater market, we see some pullbacks today. We got to test our patience and learn from what was an AMDL trade. We bought the dip there, and it still sold off a little bit more. Um, but let me show you. I watched Rigetti stock run up. Let's pull up our quantum watch list. Where is it at? Q. There it is. Quantum. Rigetti stock run up really strong earlier this year before it was February, and we had some positions and also started covering it around $1 a share. And then at CES right here, it was up here around what, $21 a share. The CEO from Nvidia came out with an announcement that basically told the world quantum computing was still 30 years away. Boom, the whole sector crashed from $21, and you saw Rigetti sell down to 595. All quantum stocks, not just Rigetti. And a lot of investors panicked, and it felt like all the hope got crushed in one headline. And then I remember that since that sell-off, I remember calling my family and then also buying some longer term positions. And what they did is they trimmed some costs. They focused on their Anka 3 system, so they shipped more quantum computers. I'll pull it up here, some quantum stocks here. Let's see, Rigetti. They pulled up, let me see. They shipped this Anka 3 quantum computer here, um, and their Novera QPU, and they increased their fidelity. They improved their single qubit gate fidelity there. And what happened is we saw a big recovery. And they got some partnerships with DARPA, partnerships with U.S. Air Force, working with Microsoft and Amazon. And we see them really recover, and we see a rebound here. So the market starts noticing, oh, maybe there's some real world usage. Nvidia starts to come out with some growth in quantum. They say they're introducing their quantum market of their company. And the next thing we know now, Rigetti, it's hitting highs. We see it make this run up into this $18 range here. And at this moment, Rigetti has been hitting technological milestones, higher fidelity qubits, scaling their systems, securing more government and commercial contracts, and also getting some big funding. So the upside is pretty explosive, and we kind of look at their balance sheet. That's where things get interesting. Their balance sheet has indicated some growth as well. Let's see, jump into the financial side of things, and we've seen them get up into quarterly, nothing crazy. Balance sheet here though, $636 million in cash, and liabilities at 83 million. So their runway is up there. And this is really one of the only US based pure plays in quantum hardware right now. And so um, if quantum hits and we see QPUs become as popular as GPUs, and let's say the data center game heats up or something like that, they get into that mode of acceleration, then Rigetti could be a geometrical, I would say, generational bet that it could continue. Now today we see it sell down from this $18 price point over the last few days here. It sold down today to as low as $15 a share. It's at this previous support here. And while one CEO statement kind of crushed it last time, this time we're just seeing greater market sell off here. Nvidia is down. You see, Microsoft selling off there a little bit. Google's down today. So it's more of a greater market sell off. It's not just one big announcement today. But the big idea is that, long term, we're looking at a frontier of tech in quantum computing that could have, a 10x type of potential and upside. But they're early right now, and so it's healthy to see them pull back. There's a lot of resilience, most likely, that it makes it interesting with the company because they got all the cash and they're. But There's also some fear. People saying, "Oh my gosh, entry points. When's the best entry point?" They got an overall uptrend right now with the support level at $15 that they sold down to today, and then a stronger support level up here at about 14.50. That would be their rising support level. But what I didn't realize about Rigetti is, just how much they've progressed technologically, but they're still pretty far away. So from a full real world usage right now, we're seeing a little bit of a sell off. We're seeing a little bit of a bearish outlook. They get put into Microsoft's Azure here. Okay, so they're in Microsoft Azure. You can see them here, Rigetti provider, Microsoft. They got the NASA contracts. They're selling some of their systems, but really what we're looking here is quantum still, could be a couple years away, right? So Rigetti, they tell you that Rigetti can't survive right now, and I'd say they definitely will survive. I think they're a company um, that's not even a penny stock anymore. But truth is, the governments, Fortune 500 companies, and defense agencies are investing right now into quantum companies, and that's why we see them go up. And so, really, a lot of people, the enemy isn't Rigetti. These stocks are overvalued. It's the short-term thinking that is the enemy. The short-term thinking is that long-term investors are fine with corrections here. Short-term investors get really worried. And they'll tell you, quantum is decades away, but we see Nvidia, launching quantum now. We see, a lot of defense companies investing in quantum. One of the bills that they're really waiting for some financial stimulus on at Rigetti is going to be the that quantum initiative reauthorization act. It's a $2.7 billion act here. This bill getting passed, a Quantum National Initiative Reauthorization Act, authorizing $2.7 billion over 5 years to advance practical applications in quantum technology and bolster national security and economic competitiveness. There is an interesting outlook too, because China is apparently investing between 5, 10, 15 billion a year. So the US is still investing, billions of dollars. I think it's more private than it is government. We still see, governments. IBM announced over $1 billion in quantum revenue this past year that they announced they had cumulatively made that much. So they tell you that it's really far away. It's not a good investment. It's very speculative. It's going to go down, whatever. I think quantum is going to be a great outlook. A lot of people, I see that we could be flexible. We could see it sell down for sure. And that's where maybe when we see those opportunities for the short-term swings, we trade the short term. But in the long term, I think it's Jeff Bezos that says, like, be stubborn on vision and flexible on the details, right? So Rigetti's vision is still quantum, and they're working, and the details of their progress is just noise. It's quarterly noise. And even Jensen himself, the same guy that said quantum is 30 years away, also said that AI was decades away back in the 2000s. And look where Nvidia is now. Nvidia is the top player. So, they ran up before February. We see them crash right there at the CES event. Then they've really run up in market cap up and had a consistent trend. There's a support level at $15. There's also a rising support level at $14 right here, around $14.50. And so we'd look for them to continue the trend, and we'll see if the institutional buying interest continues. This is kind of the update right now in the short term. This sell down could happen here in this $14 range. More of a bullish outlook or continuation of trend here would be that we see them make this move. It's about a 30% swing. I have some longer term swing positions in Rigetti there. You can see we're up about 45% return. I like them long term. They're good. Short term, I'm seeing this pullback. I've kind of been looking at that pullback opportunity, kind of waiting and patiently waiting for shorter term plays. But the quantum market in general, we're seeing more investments. estimated to be a trillion, $3 to $5 trillion economic impact between 2030, 2040. So the competitors are IonQ, you got D-Wave, we're going to cover more. But Rigetti's US based here, hardware first pure play. And, it seems like a good follow right now to watch these levels. So we're going to keep you updated. If you guys have any questions, things like that, feel free to drop them in the comment section. And, when it comes to Rigetti and its progression, that's just the update on the technicals. If you want to learn more about technical analysis, feel free to check the second link down below. We do our trading and investing every day in StockMate. Friendly reminder, it is going to be September 1st that the lifetime access to our daily live trading is going away. So if you want to get without a subscription, lifetime access to our Monday through Friday trading, it's going away. Lifetime access for the live trading on September 1st. It's going away. So appreciate you all. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, it's the second link below if you want that. Definitely make sure to hit the like button if I earned it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.